What's up, y'all? We back with the third video, and I hope y'all been enjoying the content. Let me know down below if there's anything you want me to react to or change. We'll go get into the first video now.
Dean Arnold Quarles, aka the Candyman or the Pied Piper, was an American serial killer and sex offender who abducted, raped, tortured, and murdered a minimum of 28 teenage boys and young men between 1970 and 1973 in Houston and Pasadena, Texas. He was aided by two teenaged accomplices, David Owen Brooks and Elmer Wayne Henley. Quarles' victims were typically lured with an offer to a party or a lift to one of his various addresses at which he resided between 1970 and 1973. They would then be restrained either by force or deception, and each was killed either by strangulation or shooting with a .22 caliber pistol. Brooks and Henley confessed to assisting Quarles in several abductions and murders. Both were sentenced to life imprisonment. The crimes, which became known as the Houston mass murders, came to light after Henley fatally shot Quarles. The case was considered the worst example of serial murder in United States history.
Why is nobody talking about this? This fire was caused by a gas leak in a small town in South Korea, and I'm going to explain why in this video. But first, don't forget to comment your first name, share the video with a friend, and add it to your favorites. On the night of January 9th, 2024, there was a gas leak in the town of Danyang in South Korea. Residents noticed a strange mist over the road, but nobody suspected it was gas. Firefighters were mobilized to oversee the damage caused by the gas leak, and fortunately, no one died, but there were still some injuries. Gas leaks are very common at the moment, so if you smell hot chocolate during your sleep, it's likely a leak in your home, so be very careful.
Nah. Imagine you see a gas leak in your neighborhood and ends up blowing up, engulfing the whole neighborhood in flames. I couldn't imagine that, y'all. That's crazy. And the one before that with the dudes in Texas with mass killings and you know all that, that's disturbing that just that much stuff is out here. Gotta watch out. Let's get back into it though.
Caught on Audio, Part 1. On January 26, 1967, 3 crew members were conducting a launch rehearsal at Cape Kennedy Air Force Station Launch Complex. The launch was scheduled the following month. The simulation was needed to determine whether or not the spacecraft would operate normally. And because the spacecraft wasn't loaded with fuel, it wasn't considered to be a dangerous exercise. At 1 p.m., the command pilot Gus Grissom, senior pilot Edward White II, and pilot Roger Chaffee entered the command module in their pressure suits. Immediately, Gus noticed a strange smell circulating throughout his suit, which he compared to sour buttermilk. The crew was going through their checklist when a violent fire broke out, and all 3 men's microphones caught it all. Just take a listen. It's also worth noting that there are aftermath photos of all 3 astronauts, and they are very bad. I really don't recommend looking them up.
Here's the
Yeah, that reminds me of this one TV show called For All Mankind about the astronauts. You see a lot of gruesome things. A lot of people wouldn't know how dangerous being an astronaut is and everything that comes with the craft and going into space, uncharted territory. But let's get back into it, y'all.
web's most terrifying video. This man is sleeping peacefully when he hears his 2-year-old son screaming in pain.
What? You ain't gonna go get your son?
The dark web's worst video. This man finds himself in Japan's most haunted forest and comes face to face with strange creatures.
O que estão fazendo? O que é isso? Meu Deus do céu. Parece que tem uma entrada de onde eles estão. Lá, lá, lá.
Oh, they're going.
O que estão fazendo, cara? Olha lá. Vai, tá com alguma coisa na mão, velho. Se eu for mais perto, eles vão me ver, cara. Ah, lá, o cara tá fazendo alguma coisa. Ah. Meu Deus do céu. Será que ele viu?
5. Creepy.
Yo, that last video about in the forest in Japan, that was pretty creepy, y'all. Like, they're doing a ritual or something out there. They said creatures, but to me, it looked more like a cult ritual or something like that. Regardless, I thought they were gonna notice, bro, in the bushes, you know. But let's get back into the video.
Video.
Hmm. Yeah, nah. Hmm. Y'all could see right there, we went through the Chucky segment with all the dolls and stuff, you know. Y'all might have wondered why I was smiling. Me personally, it's hard for me to take dolls too serious, but I could get how they could be creepy, if they were moving or anything supernatural with them. And then you see the ones with the people reflections changing in the mirror. That's also strange, you know. But let's roll back into it, see what we got.
Leave. Stop. You gotta go. Shh, 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 shh. Calm down. What are you? Stop. Charlie, come on.
Parkour! Michael, parkour! Parkour! Extreme! Parkour! Parkour!
This is parkour, internet sensation of 2004.
Holy shit! Oh my god, everybody's fucking screaming!
Alright, now that last one, it said creepy video, but to me, that looked like some people's cats jumping over them, running on him, jumping on his head. Which, man, you don't want to get woke up in the middle of the night. Cat back kicks you, roundhouse kicks you to the head, right in your eye or something, that'd be pretty crucial. But let's see what we got next.
Oh my gosh! They even hit their door!
Nah.
There's footage of a cat turning into a human.
Yo.
First off, look how this cat flies off. It literally flies off. And this is the slow transformation after the guy rolled out of the car. Super weird. Many people are saying this is a skinwalker because they can shapeshift. Others are saying it's a djinn. A djinn is basically like an evil genie that can also shapeshift. And then of course, because of the quality, everybody's saying it's also bad Photoshop. Whether any of that is true or not, this is still a creepy and very well done video. It really makes you wonder what is out there. Do me a favor, keep an eye on your pets tonight, especially your cats, see if they shapeshift, let me know. I'm pretty sure my cat's a shapeshifter. I wake up and all the furniture's rearranged. Let me know what you guys think about this video in the comment section.
Creepy.
Yeah, personally I would think that's edited, some type of editing, and I just don't know if we really got cats out here like some Hogwarts, transformation into humans from animals. I don't know. Let's keep going though.
Facts you didn't know about. Astronomers have identified a force pulling all galaxies towards a single point. This is called dark flow. Pineapple contains an enzyme called bromelain. When you eat pineapple, this enzyme digests protein in your body. It eats you back. Statistically speaking, if you are a woman and get murdered, it was most likely by a family member, partner, or ex-partner in your own home. If you are a man and get murdered, it was most likely by an acquaintance or stranger in a public place. Capgras syndrome is a mental delusion or you believe that the people closest to you have been replaced by imposters.
Here's my top 10.
That would be pretty disturbing. You know, that last one, you think everybody around you has turned into like some imposter, you know, a fake version of them. Like, man, you see people go crazy, schizophrenic. They think people they know are like CIA agents and all types of things. Yeah. I wonder what causes the brain to go through that, because, yeah, nah. But I'm going to jump back in.
Me are either the most vile saw traps or the ones that I would die in absolutely immediately. These are in no particular order, and a majority of them are from Saw 3, so let's just start there, the fucking pig vat from Saw 3. People might feel differently about this one because this is one of the only saw traps where you don't actually physically get hurt. You still have a risk of dying, obviously, but you don't have to, like, cut a limb off or break any bones. But this trap, to me, is so disgustingly vile, I would rather be dead. Same thing goes for the rack. Imagine sitting there helplessly as all of your bones slowly rotate and completely break. That's the tough part about this one and the last one, is that you have to rely on somebody else to get you out, so there's basically no fucking chance. Moving into traps that you can get yourself out of, technically. The classroom trap, immediately no. Let me just make it clear, I'm not surviving a saw trap, period. Resiliency, 0. Will to live, none. But this one, I would not even fucking attempt. I would sit down and let that fucking clock run. The hooks are going through his Achilles tendons. Ugh. Not to mention that and this one, the angel trapper, inescapable. I wouldn't have even attempted this one, but she fucking did, and she won, and she still couldn't get out of this shit. Imagine putting yourself through that torture only to fail and die anyway. Goodbye. Nar. The acid burning her hand in this one, and then you see her skin peeling away, and it just like leaves the blood in the jar. Vile. Moving on from Saw 3 to Saw 3D. The silent circle has always been one of the most disgusting ones to me. And I feel like people don't really talk about this a lot, but she literally has a fish hook down in her stomach that he needs to pull out all the way through her mouth. And I feel you can just like hear it tearing, and you can just imagine it. This one makes me fucking ill. Another one that makes me ill and fucking just cringe is the scalping seat from Saw 4. Like the slow tear of her scalp, and you could just see it. Like, take me out. Spiral is my least favorite movie in the Saw franchise, but this fucking finger trap from it is disgusting. This scene is so detailed in the way that his fingers rip off. I cannot unsee it. I never will be able to. I wish I could. Speaking of the detail, another one I have to add because of the detail of how his skin cuts off, the pipe bomb trap from Saw X. Like, where are people getting this will to live? Where do I find it? I'm gonna get to my top 2 now, but a couple honorable mentions. The Venus flytrap from Saw 2. This is a personal one because I hate anything to do with eyes. I was a little dramatic earlier. Maybe some of the other ones I would attempt, like the eye sucker trap from Saw X. I would totally break my fingers to get out of that. But this? No. You want me to take my own fucking eye out? That's hilarious. Now we're both sitting here watching the clock. Goodbye. Another honorable mention is the oxygen crusher from Saw 6 because you asked me about a year ago what I think the most memorable saw trap is. I probably would have said the needle pit. This is one where obviously somebody's not going to die from it, but it's even worse somehow. And I have tattoos. I do not have an issue with needles, but this fucking scene ruined me.
I remember that one.
Grabbing a bunch of needles with your hands. Nor. This scene was so iconic, and I think it completely traumatized a whole generation of people. But then Saw X came out, and we got the bone marrow trap. And this to me quickly became the most memorable and also the most brutal saw trap in the whole franchise. I watched this scene between fingers, and that does not happen to me. I was cringing the whole fucking time. Valentina honestly deserved to survive this one. It was a great effort.
You know, I haven't seen all the Saws from, 1 through, all the way up to Spiral or whatever the newest one that just came out. But the ones that I've seen are pretty gruesome. I don't know if I would be able to attempt, even complete a lot of those. Probably not, I feel like it takes more than grit and determination. Like, you also need a little bit of luck on your side, just some whole other factors. It's pretty gruesome, pretty ugly. I remember the one with needles too, where she was digging with the needles. You know, that one's bad. Like, imagine they were all dirty needles too. Gone out of here. All right, let's get back into it though.
A sailor named Nels Nelson stood at the bow of this big Russian steamboat called the Perrier, and he looked out over the Pacific Ocean with a very worried look on his face. The sun was starting to go down, and Nels was afraid of what the night might bring. About a month earlier, the Perrier, the boat that Nels was on, had left Hong Kong and begun its long journey to California, where Nels and the rest of the crew would offload all their hemp and machinery. And just that day, the Perrier had passed by Honolulu, Hawaii, which meant they were nearly to their final destination. Now, their long voyage thus far had been quiet, but now Nels just couldn't help feeling like their luck was about to run out. Nels had been a sailor his whole life. He was originally from Sweden, but he'd traveled all over the world, and a few years back, he had linked up with the Perrier in Hong Kong. And now, other than the captain of the Perrier, who was a Russian named Kavinsky, Nels was the longest serving member on board the Perrier. And what that meant was Nels and the ship's captain were the only two currently on board the Perrier who knew the ship's dark secret. Now, Nels and the captain had not told anyone this secret and didn't intend to. Now, this wasn't something they planned, like they weren't trying to keep it a secret. Instead, it was just kind of this unspoken agreement that we're just never going to talk about this. But at the last port in Hong Kong where the ship was docked, the previous entire crew of the Perrier, minus Nels and the captain, had all deserted because of this secret. And so now Nels and the captain were left to kind of keep this information to themselves and go out and solicit a new crew to come on board the Perrier to go to California, but they did it without telling these people about this dark secret. And they'd managed to do it. Nels and the captain had found this kind of ragtag bunch of sailors to come with them on this journey, but as a result of recruiting basically anybody with a pulse who was willing to go on this voyage, the crew they ultimately recruited was kind of an untrustworthy, sketchy bunch. On this night, it was Nels's turn to stand watch, which means basically you would stay up and kind of patrol the boat and look out for problems or emergencies. It was just a way to make sure the crew was always safe, even when everybody was asleep. And even though Nels was not exactly thrilled to be staying up all night to stand watch, in a way he actually was kind of relieved to be in charge of this task. He figured he'd rather be awake and miserable than asleep and vulnerable. Suddenly, another sailor came up to Nels, and Nels hadn't heard him, and the sailor slapped him on the back and said, "Hey, how you enjoying your sunset cruise tonight?" Nels turned around and saw it was another crew member just kind of pulling his leg, and so Nels attempted to put on a smile and kind of go along with the joke and make it kind of lighthearted, but he was really struggling because he was looking off to the horizon and he could see this.
Here are 3 horror movies that I'm super excited about that are coming out in
Yo.
2024. The first one.
Yeah, I don't know why that last one cut off early, but you know, out in the ships and boats, I don't know what it is about big ships and boats. It's always kind of like made me unsettled, you know. But yeah, really deep out in the ocean in general is kind of a little unsettling feeling. To me, it's not as bad as deep in the, you know, forest or somewhere, but still kind of, you know, ominous. But let's keep going. I don't know why that last clip cut early, but
A lady that moves back into her childhood home, and her stepdaughter ends up befriending this teddy bear that she finds in the basement, and things might just be darker than they seem, and the teddy bear might not be a teddy bear. But I'm just so excited to see this one. I love when movies take childlike elements and make them sinister. So it could be imaginary friends, like a doll, teddy bear. Like, have we ever seen a teddy bear that's evil? I don't think so, but I'm excited for this one. It comes out in February. Next up is A Quiet Place Day 1. I am so excited for this because I love the world of A Quiet Place and the monsters. And this one is a prequel leading up to the events that happen, so we get to see where these monsters came from and how everything transpires. But the original cast isn't coming back as far as we know, only Jamon Hansu. He'll be back, he was on part 2. And then this also has like an awesome new cast coming in. So we have Lupita, I'm not even gonna try to say her last name, but she was on Us, I love her. We have Alex Wolff from Hereditary, and then Joseph Quinn from Stranger Things, Eddie Munson in the flesh. I cannot wait. This is gonna be such a good movie. And this one comes out June 28th. And then we have Saw 11, which I am super excited for this because the Saw franchise is probably my favorite horror franchise out there. And the fact that we're getting a Saw movie so soon after the last one, but we don't have a lot of information on this one. This one does take place after the events of Saw X. I did hear that Tobin Bell isn't coming back, so I'm kind of assuming that this is going to take place after Saw 3, especially with Mark Hoffman coming in at the end of Saw X. So it might be him and Cecilia just battling it out. I cannot wait. I'm so excited. Give me all the Saw movies. Oh, and this one comes out on September 28th. With the whole strike that went down last year, I didn't think we'd get a lot of horror releases in 2024, but we have a lot coming out, so I'm excited. I'm going to be talking about a lot more, so stay tuned. But let me know what you're most excited for in the comments.
Yeah, I'm not too excited for horrors, but Quiet Place prequel, that one looks pretty good. You know, I like the first ones. I like the concept of the movie, so I'll have to look into that. You know, I have a friend who likes Saw a lot, you know. Big fan of Saw, so maybe I'll have to check that one out if he says it's good. But yeah, I'm more into like action type movies, you know. Let's get back into it now.
Any single.
What?
That was a girl's high-pitched voice. Hello?
Earlier, what was her name?
He said, I'm out of there.
Your mom? Is this spirit being a smartass by saying that it was touching my mom?
Ooh. Hey, hon. Come here. Look.
No, I can't do that.
I don't think it's just down here. Look at that. This is the most active during the day that I've... Oh, there goes the Xbox too. Wait a minute. Oh, I'm not liking this. Oh, wow. Wait.
What?
I swear I can see. Ooh, stop it.
Yo.
I'm not liking that. Hun, let's go to dinner or something for a while. Time.
That was kind of creepy, y'all. With the seat rocking back and forth. Man, you see his wife didn't even want to pay attention, almost like she was used to it. But kind of seemed like dude was psyching himself out with it, like the Xbox on, you know. I don't know, but it still did look kind of paranormal. But yeah, I don't blame him. He's like, let's get out of here, go catch some dinner. But yeah, I think we're gonna wrap it up here for today, and I appreciate y'all for tuning in again to the third video. We're just gonna keep coming stronger every time, you know. And drop some comments how y'all feel down below if there's anything else you want me to react to. And pretty soon in the next couple videos, I got something big coming up planned to announce. So hopefully you can get that in there. I hope y'all enjoyed the video. Y'all have a blessed day.